Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. So today we've got the patch notes for High Caliber Rainbow Six Siege's next season. We've also got some real surprises in here, like a whole bunch of weapons are being made better on console on the controller. So we'll get to that shortly. We've also got the patch notes and we've got designer notes. So we're going to hit it all very quickly and just hit the highlights basically. So of course you already know Thorn with her brand new SMG. Good to have a brand new weapon in the game. And it's a damn good gun. I'm going to combine it with the C5 Auto, but you've really got a good all-round kind of collection of weapons here. Then you've got deployable shield, barbed wire, and of course 2 speed, 2 health, and she has an explosive mine that does a lot of damage but has a very long delay till it goes off. Then we've got the map rework, of course, that is coming with this season, and it is Outback. I've not had enough time to really soak it in yet, but so far it definitely seems better than the old Outback, which I had plenty of issues with. Then we've got a brand new test server coming, and this is kind of interesting, kind of not. So we've got the usual test server season or launch, which is all the content coming with new season. Then we're going to have a test server lab that will come later, where they're going to be testing like long range future changes. So that'll be interesting. Apparently this is actually going to be a big deal. So we'll wait and see what that ends up looking like. And then we'll have the usual mid-season testing for balancing that comes. And this season will probably be around about like January time, perhaps, for the mid-season balancing, but we'll find out. They are also going to be doing a few different things with the test server. And yeah, like I say, we'll just kind of have to sit back and see how that goes. There's also a better R6 fix for actually submitting bugs. Also, the presentation I got for the early access to the new season that every content creator got also said that they're planning to bring rewards to the test server, which means if you get stuff in the test server, you end up actually getting them in a live game in the future. They say that's coming next year. So that will be far better. Then we've got our brand new team colors. So these are blue and red as default, and you're always on blue team no matter when you switch over, which is great. And you can customize these colors, which is brilliant. And they're going to have more colors to choose from in the future, which again is brilliant. And at some point in the future, that will also go over to gadgets, lights and stuff, and actually change the gadgets so they're corresponding to your team. So I'm looking forward to that as well. That should help colorblind a lot in the future. Then we got customization. So we finally actually have the custom elites. So we kind of had them last season, but it was still linked to the uniform. Now it's all completely separate and it is proper elite customization. You're also going to have exotic weapons, and it looks like they hacked into the Destiny servers and just stole this right out of it. It is so Destiny looking, but these are basically animated 3D skins. I expect you'll probably see this weapon at the very end of the battle pass, and maybe we'll see a few get dropped into alpha packs. But as usual, I am very worried about cosmetics getting added into the game. Like, I knew player cards were probably coming, but I didn't expect the player card color backgrounds to also come, because to me, what's going to happen is the battle pass will be filled with colored background of your player card and player cards, and there will just be a whole bunch of different stuff and these exotic weapons. So just more and more paid for content that I'm a bit worried about for sure. Then we've got an operator price decrease as usual. So these operators here should be going down in price with the new season. I love this picture. This is Doctor's Curse, the map. And they've just got, Chanka just chilling here on a couch looking pretty comfy. So I don't know if he's going to do some Netflix and chill or something here. Now, player comfort is our next thing. So we've got drone counter, which means the HUD is actually going to tell you how many drones are left on the attacker's side. So as a defender, you will know if they have 3 or 2 or none, and that's going to be very handy for you. We've also got the rework to the HUD, which of course is very controversial. I've already made a video because of the controversy, making up my own kind of like mock-up of it and having a good play around with it. Then we've also got the privacy stuff coming as well. Now, this is basically just going to be what is currently in a streamer mode right now, but in the future, you will be able to change your name. And they did put out a blog post on it that I'm going to go over at a future date, which says that it'll even affect the APIs. So that means third parties who actually have overlays and stuff that allow you to see someone else's information will not actually reveal it. So it's a proper streamer mode, and it'll be coming way in the future still, but it's going to be tested with content creators sometime in the future. So that's awesome. That is a proper streamer mode. Sounds like they're actually doing it the right way. Looking forward to it. And people always say that it is an issue that you can't report cheaters. You're still going to be able to report cheaters. You're still going to have the match ID. It doesn't matter if they have a fake name in the game. You're still going to be able to easily report them. So don't worry about that. Then we've got the operator balancing. So we've got Finka. She's going to be able to self-revive. So basically exactly the same as Doc. She can get herself up with her gadget, which is the same as Doc, of course. And I think that's perfect. And her recoil reduction has been removed. I know this is something that people love or hate. So people, I think in the majority, absolutely hate it. So they're probably happy that it's gone. But because she can now self-revive, they have increased the cooldown to 20 seconds from 10. Then for Echo and Muzzy, a really, really big buff here, which is they can actually take their drones outside for 10 seconds. This is going to make runouts so easy with these two operators and just a little bit of coordination. And they're probably going to replace the Valkyries that used to do that by throwing cams outside. So interested about that. We've got the bulletproof camera rework, which allows defenders to look around, and it also allows them to actually shoot off an EMP at attackers to EMP either the character or their gadgets or their drones. So big change to the bulletproof camera. Not sure how instrumental it's going to be yet, but it should be pretty good. We did see it on a test server earlier this year, so we have an idea of how it works. And yeah, it's a big change. And then we've got the cameras here losing signal. So any camera you place outside will now get disconnected in 10 seconds, just like the Muzzy drones and the Echo drones. And then you'll either have to retrieve them or just leave them to do nothing outside. Just basically a Wi-Fi reduction in range. Then we've got weapon balancing. This is interesting. We've got angle grip. They've actually reduced the kind of power of it, because it used to be able to bring you into ADS quicker. They've actually reduced that by 20%, so it's not as good as it used to be. Then we've got some controller recoil changes. So we got Jaeger's 416, Ash's R4C, the K1A, the M762, the AK12, SMG12, and the Runny and the Storm are getting improved recoil, and it's all horizontal recoil that's being reduced. We'll have a little look at that in a second. Then we've got tweaks and improvements. So this is interesting. So the first one in the day gives you a battle pass bonus, boost, and boosters are actually going to improve for your teammates as well as yourself, and it can actually stack as well, which is great. And then we've got the disabled status for electronic gadgets. This is changing because attackers can now get EMP'd by the bulletproof camera rework, which means if Yana, Finka, Lion, Dokkaebi, and Warden get EMP'd, so of course these ones by the bulletproof camera, this one by Thatcher, then their actual cooldown will stop for the time of the EMP. And Jackal's, his little ability to see footprints, it'll be switched off by an EMP and disabled. The same thing as Dokkaebi is at the time actually calling someone can just, at the perfect, and this would have to be perfect timing, can EMP or just stop her from doing it. And yeah, that's interesting. Now, if you do get EMP'd and Finka boost you, you will get revived, so that won't be affected. But it is certainly an interesting little bit of things to look into. Then we have the testing ground playlist. So this is the new playlist on the test server. Now, last season, they had a new setup where they wanted to try and push everyone into single playlists to play to keep the numbers going in the test server and keep games coming in. And what they would do is like activate casual, then a week later activate ranked, but disable casual. It looks like they're making one playlist that has kind of got a bit of everything in it. So it's got some unranked rules, it's got some quick match rules, it's got no map bans, no leaving penalty, you can join in progress, and there's no MMR restrictions. So I think the idea here is they're testing a whole bunch of stuff in a single playlist rather than having it spread out over multiple, or just switch them off and on in different playlists at times. Then we've got a few other stuff for player comfort, so grenade indicator has been made more reliable. Operator auto pick will now actually pick your operator based on your personal statistics. So the operator you're good at will be the one that gets chosen. And if that one's not available, I guess the next one down. So interesting. If people like being AFK and then getting a random up, that might annoy them. But if you're playing ranked and you're away for a second and come back, you'll actually have an operator you probably enjoy playing. So that's great. We've also got some notifications for esports matches going up. But this here is interesting. So we've got new colors for the alpha packs, which I mean the actual alpha pack, the 3D model of the pack itself, is now a teal blue and black, different from usual. But also esports packs duplicates will now give battle pass points instead of dupes. So I don't know, good or bad, I think for me that's good, because I usually do have an issue getting it done by the end of the season because I'm playing on Xbox and on PC, so I split my time. So it will be handy to get that boost. So yeah, pretty good for me, I think. Now this one here is actually quite sad, and that is the fire select is gone. I did mention that it wasn't on the new HUD, and I thought that was kind of odd. But yeah, there is no fire select anymore for your main weapons. It'll still exist for Zofia and Capital because you can switch to different types of gadgets, but for your normal weapons, there's no going to single shot anymore or burst. Yeah, I kind of sad to see that go. And the only time I ever use it is during testing, but still sucks. However, that will affect part of the player base more than ours, and that is going to be console cheaters who use stuff like strike packs and macros that use the single shot mechanic. So they will suddenly just not be able to cheat with that, the strike packs and all that. Now, we've got some game health. So this is stuff we already talked about in these exact patch notes. So the player privacy, they're going to bring in some new stuff. And then we've got some map rotations here. So Outback is getting brought into the newcomer playlist with Border Out. And Outback is going into ranked and unranked. And then they've added a playlist preset when creating a custom game. So there's a few different options in there. But let's move on to more information. And here we are with the preseason designer notes. We got a bunch more info in here and additional changes. So let's go through it. We have our usual balance and graphs, of course, and our shield operators down here doing terrible. We've got a massive collection right here. I almost can't tell who's in here. There's just such a squish of operators. Actually, quite a few really close to the middle, and especially Flores. I thought personally Flores was doing rubbish, but he's doing okay. And we got actually our new Osa in there too. She's doing brilliant. I do like it when the new operators are very balanced. But then Yana up top here, Twitch up top, but no one crazy in the win rate, which is great. And the pick rate is not going above 60, so that's actually, I think, not too bad. Then going down to defenders. So Jaeger still up in the huge pick rate, but not doing that great. I do wonder if, because remember, Wamai actually got a good buff with the last mid-season, and he doesn't seem to have pushed up at all. I do wonder if they're going to make another Jaeger at some point, something that will be different from Wamai, and try to compete with him again. But pure guess on that. Valkyrie, oh poor Valkyrie, we're going to see her come down definitely with the change she's currently got. Although I do see her getting more powerful inside map. And yeah, there's not really any crazy outliners here. Obviously Capcan actually doing quite well, but he's not like breaking up above anyone else even with his buff. And Clash is the only one doing kind of really horrible. So yeah, I don't think that looks too bad. And it honestly looked like 1/3 actually are winning more games than losing more games, whereas there's not many actually losing more games than they're playing, which is surprising. But anyway, moving down to ban rate. So of course, we've got our usual Thatcher, Mira, and we got Monty with no ban actually coming in fourth, with Osa right behind. Then we have Mira, Valkyrie. I think this is going to drop down potentially. Although the intel will still be powerful, maybe she will still get banned quite a bit. Then we've got Kaid, and then we've got Clash, and then no ban right behind that. So let's move through this stuff real quick. Bulletproof cameras, we've gone over that already. Drone counter, we've gone over that already. Player colors, we've gone over that too. This is a note on Goyu. So they say that they are still working on the rework. Now, it doesn't sound as if it's going to be exactly the same as the one we've seen earlier in the year, but it sounds like other things got in the way. Other operator kind of reworks and stuff got in the way of finishing the Goyu rework. So they do plan to still rework Goyu. It is coming. Maybe we'll see it next season. Maybe we won't. Then we've got the finger changes. Of course, we've gone over that. Valkyrie outdoor cameras. We've gone over that. Echo and Muzzy being able to go outside for longer. We've gone over that. Maestro turrets are changing though. So this is another interesting change. So Evo Eye cameras are going to be able to be turned around by teammates, not just by Maestro. So if Maestro's not on the cameras, you're going to be able to go in and actually look around with them, which is pretty damn cool. However, the attackers are also going to be able to do that by hacking in and then turning them around. Of course, Maestro will always overrule everybody else who's on them if he's alive, but that is quite a nice little change to the Maestro turret, so I've definitely wanted to be able to do that for a long time. So angle grip, we've gone over that, it's getting made a little bit worse. And then we have a little bit more detail on the controller changes for these different weapons. And I've had a look through these. They don't look hugely different. It is very much the horizontal that's changing. The vertical is exactly the same. And like, you know, Jaeger's gun here doesn't look hugely improved. Either does Ash's. But if we go down to, say, Ronnie here, that looks insane. Like, this is the current one, and that's the nerfed one, by the way, this season. And this is the improved one, which really does look good and is far more vertical. And yeah, like an AK-12 as well actually is significantly pulling off to the right and is going much more significantly straight. Now I have been testing recoils in recent videos, but there's no way I'm actually doing all of these, so we'll just play with them and we'll all figure out how we feel about them. But they should all be improved in the new season when it launches on controller. So pretty damn good. If you're using any of these guns, you should see at least some sort of improvement with the horizontal recoil. And yeah, that's definitely a good little thing. And that's it, guys. That's us all caught up with these designer notes and patch notes for the new season. Let me know in the comments below what you think of all of this today, and I'll catch you next time.